Welcome to BrainStorm 9000.
Do not gonna steal a body over fits out of time. Do.
Master McMaster is trying to sing something. I have no idea what that is. What is it?
I've been torturing our listeners with too much singing lately. That is the song Party Like It's 1999, I think, by Prince.
Really?
Yeah. For some reason, that always makes me think of the new year, even though it's literally been 30 years since that came out.
So is your New Year's resolution to sing like a person formerly known as Prince?
You know what? It's not going to be a resolution of mine because I just know that I will break it.
Break it meaning you are not going to be able to do it?
Just never. We'll never be able to achieve that goal.
So my New Year's resolution is that I'm planning to keep is to change the studio to something more convenient because we keep hitting all different parts of the table on which our microphones are adjusted. Maybe we should let people see the picture of this thing.
Yes, we'll post it. Okay, hey everyone. You are listening to BrainStorm 9000. This is a podcast where we talk about brains.
Yes. By the way, I'm Dr. Schultz. And today, as you probably figured it out already, we are going to talk about New Year's resolutions.
Yes, it is 2019.
Congratulations.
It's an ugly sounding year, I think.
Yeah, but 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 9 is 12.
I was just going to ask you for the numerology evaluation.
I have no idea. I'm not a numerologist.
No?
I don't know.
Okay.
I know that according to the Chinese calendar, which begins somewhere in February probably, it's the year of a pig, which allegedly is a good thing for anybody who is not born under the sign of a pig.
Really?
But it's too complicated. Let's go back and talk about resolutions.
Oh, no, I was just thinking about the year. I think I was born in the year of the serpent.
So it's good for you. Don't worry about it. So what are, you think, the most common New Year's resolutions that people make?
What do I think they are?
Yeah.
I think probably the most common New Year's resolutions are like work out, eat healthier, lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
Probably something like quit smoking or like drink less.
So like self-improvement kind of thing?
Yeah, like self-improvement stuff. And then like maybe like get a new job or like read a book a month or something.
Mm-hmm. How about spending some more time with their family?
That could be one. I've never had that as a New Year's resolution.
One of mine should be work out more often.
Yeah, that was mine last year.
But that's popular, right?
Definitely.
How are you doing on that one? You're working out more?
Not great.
No, still watching the Netflix.
Always.
Right. What else do you think people want to do?
What do people want? Probably like learn something new. Like master like a new skill or like learn how to play something.
Yeah, I would like to learn how to sing and dance, but I doubt it's going to happen anytime soon.
You know what? I want to learn how to play the theremin.
Yeah. Can you make a sound again? Sounds like a scary sound from a scary movie.
No, that's why I love it.
Well, in my office, I hear very frequently that people also would like to finally meet the love of their life.
Can that be a resolution, though?
I don't think so.
Because, like, the whole point of a resolution is something that you do.
Right.
Like, that you're going to accomplish for yourself, right?
Right.
But that's, finding the love of your life, that's not something you can control unless you decide that you are going to adopt a cat.
Exactly. How many cats have you adopted? Helped to adopt?
Oh, I don't know.
For people who have no idea why I'm asking Master McMaster, she is a cat activist, and you've been doing it for quite a long time, right?
Yeah, it's this spring it'll be 3 years.
Yeah. So you helped a lot of cats.
Yes. No, at the end of 2018, like in the last 2 months, I probably adopted out 8 cats.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Including the big one I saw the picture of?
Yes, the big one that Dr. Schultz is referring to is Austin.
Like Austin Powers?
Yeah, or Austin, Texas.
Okay, same thing. So basically, we just named the most popular resolutions that people make.
I think that those are the most popular ones.
Yes, of course, it also depends on what culture you are from. It depends on many, many different things, including even, actually not even, it's very important, your financial situation.
Yeah.
For some people, it could be spending less, and for some people, it could be just making enough to get by.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think, Master McMaster? Is making New Year's resolutions a good thing or a bad thing?
I mean,
That's a stupid question, by the way.
is it?
Yeah, of course.
Why?
I don't know. But what do you think?
I think in a way it's a bad thing because like you can kind of just set yourself up for failure.
For failure.
Because you make a goal and then you're like you feel bad about yourself when you like immediately break it. But on the other hand, like it's a great excuse. The new year is a great excuse to take a look at your life, take a look at your priorities, and like set some goals for yourself because we map out our lives in terms of like time.
Right. Well, time is a very interesting thing and not a subject of today's conversation in a great detail. But coming here today, I thought that actually today, as we speak, different cultures have different calendars. For example,
Right.
the famous or made famous in the Western culture Chinese year is not going to start until the end of January, February. I didn't look it up, but it's about right. Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, is usually in the fall.
Oh, okay.
Right? So, both the Chinese one and the Jewish one are astrologically kind of like scheduled. Our New Year that the Western world celebrates, that includes Russia also.
Really?
Well, at least a part of it is in the West, is kind of artificial and has to do with Jesus Christ.
Right.
Right. That's when Jesus was born.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, it's not artificial. It's a big deal for a lot of people who are Christians.
Right. BC, AD.
Yeah. BC is before Christ. AD is, right? No. Right?
Yes. BC is before Christ. AD is like something in Latin that I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah. So, but the essence of what I'm trying to say is that, artificial or not, it applies to a lot of people, billions of people, and is kind of a deadline by which certain things need to happen, and a starting point from which other things begin. So
Yeah.
the deadline and the starting point for a holiday, almost a universal holiday, because even in countries who have a different way of counting their time,
You still celebrate the new year.
of course,
Yeah.
because everybody's connected right now. So I think it's not a bad idea to try to understand what happened and didn't happen throughout the year. Like, for example, somebody planned to sing like Prince and didn't. And also decide what do you want to achieve in the coming year.
Yeah.
The only thing is not to promise yourself,
Right.
because then you set yourself up for a failure. Master McMaster, you always have interesting stats. Do you have any stats about how many people really do what they promised themselves to do? And sometimes others, which I don't think is a good idea.
Yeah. What? That doesn't even make sense. Yes, I do have stats.
Please enlighten us.
So, according to Business Insider, only 8 to 9% of New Year's resolutions are actually successful.
This is a number that is much higher than I expected, actually.
Right? Yeah, it probably is a
Right.
little inflated.
Right.
And according to Health US News, 80% of people who make New Year's resolutions give up on them by the second week of February.
Again, the number, from my understanding, is too low.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Let's see, what else do we have here?
Has anybody ever done any studies about this kind of stuff?
Yeah, definitely. No, lots of people. Yeah, I looked up one study from 2016, Caitlin Woolley from Cornell University and Ayelet Fishbach from the University of Chicago.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, so based on their study, they found that enjoyment is the largest factor that contributes to whether people will go through with their resolutions or not. So those who get like immediate satisfaction from any like new habits that they formed for a New Year's resolution are more likely to stick with them. So that's probably why a lot of people don't end up like eating healthy.
I can tell you that a few months ago, it has nothing to do with New Year, I decided that the time has come for me to lose some weight. And I started on a particular diet. We'll talk about diets in greater detail.
Oh, yes.
But today I want to tell you that when I started it, I was laughed at by all of my friends because A, they couldn't notice that I lose weight and I was losing steadily. Brace yourself, 1 pound a week, which is
wow.
Yeah, but it's very difficult because people expect to lose significantly more.
They expect to like look different right away.
Yeah, but I knew that I was losing because unfortunately I had to weigh myself. And also I chose a diet which had a pig out day when you have to, and I'll explain it when we have our specific program about dieting, you have to pig out for the whole day, and I'll explain to you why. So anytime they would see me, I would arrange it for us to get together on that day. So I could eat anything they wanted me to.
Yeah.
And it looked like I'm basically, I don't know, like literally eating pizza and like potatoes and expect to lose weight.
I'm on a seafood diet. I see food and I eat it.
You eat it. Yeah. So currently I lost enough for most of my friends to have noticed that I did lose some weight.
And you look great.
Of course, but I look even better in 3 years. JK.
Wow, that is a long-term
By age
plan.
90, I'll be so skinny, you have no idea.
Well, that might be for different reasons.
Right. So, but what I'm saying is that it takes a lot of stamina mentally to keep doing what you planned if you don't expect an immediate outcome.
Yeah, it really does.
Right, but I knew coming in, for example, that at my age, 63. I cannot, even if I could, start losing 10 pounds in 2 weeks because then it's going to look awful. And also it's not very feasible for many different reasons, to be discussed, spoiler alert, in our episode about dieting. So dieting is probably one of the most common things that people decide to do.
I'm sure it is.
Especially after they peaked out on Christmas,
Yeah.
Hanukkah.
I feel like that's sort of
Kwanzaa,
like part of
yeah.
the cycle of things, because at the end of the year, when there's all the holidays, you've spent probably a couple months eating a lot, maybe
Right.
gaining weight, probably spending too much money, buying too much stuff,
Right.
and probably like not working out a lot because you're like
Busy.
traveling,
Right.
going to parties, whatever. And then the new year comes along and it's like, okay, now I'm going to undo all of that.
Because you have to prepare yourself for your summer vacations, right? And you have to look good.
Yes.
Which, of course, in a way could be vain, but for a lot of people as a doctor, I have to mention it, and it's true. Some people are significantly overweight. It's not good for you.
Yeah.
So what else do the statistics tell us, Master McMaster?
Let's see. So some other stats I've found that are very interesting. I did not know this. So according to a study from the University of Scranton.
That's Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, that's where the Office took place.
Really?
You know that show, The Office?
Yes. Houdini also was from Pennsylvania, maybe even from Scranton, I'm not sure.
Houdini?
Houdini.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't know. Don't look down on Scranton. Yeah.
So according to
We
a
love
study
you,
from-
people from Scranton. We love you.
so much. Love you
Yes.
so much. So 45% of people in the study said that they usually make New Year's resolutions. 17% said that they make resolutions infrequently. And I was really surprised by this. 38% of people absolutely never make resolutions.
So the 50+% are liars, pants on fire.
Yeah.
But good for them.
I feel like I always make resolutions because, like, it's fun. But then, yeah, I just, like, kind of never do them.
Because of my extensive yoga philosophy training, I never make resolutions.
Really?
I can tell you why, but probably later, right? Or now. You tell me.
No, please, tell me now.
Right.
I didn't know that so many people were against it. I thought everyone
No,
did it.
I'm not against it. Again, I'm saying that it's probably a good idea. But making resolution, essentially, as you mentioned in your infinite wisdom in the very beginning, is promising something to yourself. And as I said, and I'm going to say it again, promising it loudly to others. Promising it loudly to others is not a good idea.
Really? I've heard that that's, like, the best way to set a goal is to tell other people so then you feel like you have more pressure to do it.
Yeah, but it's not a good idea to have too much pressure. For example, if
Yeah.
you decided, let's be realistic here. So a lot of people are going to decide they need to start losing weight. So you decided to lose weight. People around you look at you. So anytime you get together, you are going to be a subject of constant joking if you don't go through with it. And if you do, you are going to be on a very strict diet because there is no way to use weight by working out. If you eat a lot and you work out a lot, you'll still gain weight and get hungry from working out a lot. So look, you told people that you are going to lose weight soon. So they start clocking you and telling you, it's March already, look at your belly, or you are going to Cancun soon, how are you going to wear your swimming suit, or whatever the hell they tell you. So it's better to keep it to yourself. That's my advice. And also, I think, because it's going to be less destructive, because you can be self-destructive by making yourself a promise and not keeping it and then blaming yourself. But
Yeah.
here people from outside are going to make you feel uncomfortable. Feeling uncomfortable rarely makes most of the people do more.
Yeah.
People who have a tendency to do more would do more.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
So promising to yourself and not doing it is also not a good idea, because then you are going to feel guilty. And our conscience, and most important, our subconscious can
Subconscious.
and our subconscious can play terrible games on our body. So my advice is to figure out what is realistic to do and say, I'm going to try my best. So I would phrase a New Year's resolution as I'm going to try my best, or I'm going to try to. And that is probably the best thing you can do. Mostly for yourself. I'm going to try to pay off half of my credit cards, or a credit card. I'm going to try, and then you add it on. It sounds like such a silly conversation. What difference does it make? It does make a very big difference, because people talk to themselves. Do you talk to yourself, Master McMaster?
All the time.
All the time? Me too. What do you say to yourself?
Oh my gosh, too many things to even parse.
When you drive, do you talk to your fellow drivers on the street who can't hear you?
Yes.
Do you curse at them?
Yes.
Excellent. So you are human. I just did a checklist for you being an alien. You are not an alien. But seriously though, let's just decide that we are going to try our best, or we are going to try,
Yeah. No.
or we'll see what's going to happen. I'll try and see what's going to happen.
I think that is a great way to approach it.
Right.
So do you make resolutions in that sense then?
Of
I'm
course.
going to try.
No. And in that sense, I say to myself that I'm going to try. For example, currently, unbeknown to anyone, we are working on a large website for my practice. And, we have very soft, very, very soft deadlines, as you know.
Yes.
And the reason is because I'm very busy. You are very busy. And the person who is helping us with that, basically making it happen, right? Also is very busy.
Yeah.
So,
Everyone's busy.
yeah. On the other hand, deadlines in business are very important. But that's a totally different story. So, do we have any more stats?
Okay, I got a couple more. So we kind of mentioned earlier that like only 8% of people actually succeed. This
If
is
even.
like, yeah, if even that. This statistic is found, like, everyone says that, basically.
Right. That is 8%?
Like, around 8%.
Okay.
So, I don't know exactly, how thorough these New Year's resolution studies are.
Well, whatever.
So, again, the lovely people at the University of Scranton, who also found 8% actually achieve doing their resolution.
Like, achieve their goals that they set.
Achieved their goals. So then they also found that 49% infrequently succeed in achieving resolutions, and 24% never succeed.
So, guys, you are in a good company. If you are a person who is the achiever, good for you, very few of you. And if you are a loser like me and like Master McMaster and like everybody else,
Hey, speak for yourself.
that's okay too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So from a psychological perspective, we kind of touched on the
Guilt.
reaction to feeling guilty about all your holiday binging, but what do you think are some of the reasons why we make resolutions? Like, why do we even want to do this?
So the guilt is a big thing. The other thing that I kind of mentioned already, in my opinion, is that, we grew up in a particular way, and when the year changes, it's a very significant event. The time when, like it or not, all around us, people look at the bottom line.
Yeah.
At work, most of the people have to write reports, not in this office, because we treat people, so we don't have any reports. Maybe the office manager is calculating how much money we spend or made, but other than that, although it's important. People begin to start thinking about paying their taxes. So again, you need to calculate how much you made. If you have children, you look at them and you see that they grew, and it's not only on their birthday, but you are decorating the tree or putting up a menorah or a Kwanzaa display, and or whatever else you do at your home. You kind of notice how children grew or didn't grow. The academic year ends, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm so sorry. Not the academic year. The semester ends.
Yeah.
In some places, maybe. So also it becomes progressively darker, at least in our time zone.
Yes, it does.
We don't live on the equator. And darker and darker, and more time is naturally spent ruminating about things.
Yes. And being cold.
Right. So I think that the cycle of life on planet Earth forces us to start thinking about what was achieved and what has not been achieved at all, and making plans of what needs to be done the next year.
Yeah.
So it's also, we need to mention it, a socially acceptable way to procrastinate at the end of the year.
That's so true.
Like beginning in the United States from probably Thanksgiving season,
Yeah.
which probably begins in September.
Yeah, right? It's like, oh, yeah,
Right.
no, you know what? I am going to be healthier, but I'm going
Right.
to do it starting next year.
Right. And another thing that we already mentioned is that some of the psychologists, for example, Professor Peter Herman,
Herman.
Herman, coined the term false hope syndrome, which means that you make a resolution, but it's very unrealistic, and they do it completely not considering how inner self is, so it's out of alignment, as he says it. So it's kind of like skewed. Like, that's not what you are capable of doing, I'm guessing.
Right. Like, maybe, like, you want to be that person, but, like,
Yes.
it's, like, not realistic. I definitely done that before.
Me too, and I can tell you what has been helpful is when we started making videos. So I always knew that I look terrible on most of the pictures, but people who take pictures know how to take a picture so you look better. But
Yeah.
on the video, it's obvious. And I used to laugh at people on YouTube who would say, my working side is my left side, or my right side is my working side. And you can film them. So you film me from any side you want. I don't like what I see. So I see how I'm aging. I see what I'm capable, if not capable of doing. But I'm older. For younger people, it's probably a good idea to have aspirations. So I don't want to give an impression now that I'm suggesting that people don't have any aspirations. Of course, you have to have aspirations if you can. But just don't promise yourself. Don't give yourself a hard deadline.
Right. Like maybe like when you're making a resolution, you shouldn't be like you should actually pause, like take a quick second to like check in with yourself. Because I feel like a lot of people, it's just kind of like an impulsive, like without really reflecting, which I mean, is how I've always made resolutions. Like, yeah, I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week. I'm going to read 1 book a month. Those are, I've made those resolutions so many times.
Okay, so I think that these are basically the main points about how people make the resolutions.
Yeah, so what about sticking with resolutions?
You know what? I'm one of the people who have a tendency to have grandiose plans and
not you.
and look at the big picture. We are about to find out in the year 2019 what I actually mean. Yeah. Seriously, but
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. But yet, at another point of my life, when I was already in charge of something, I met with a very successful business person, and this person told me, "Look, if you want to get somewhere, start from a small project." And I said, "How come? You might not be able to see a big picture." And I was told, "No. If you have a big project, too big, it has too many moving parts, and it's very difficult to realize it." And I tried, and I think this person was right.
Yeah.
So I suggest to set a goal that is probably not as grandiose, or if you need to do something, try to achieve something step by step. For example, speaking about dieting again, I, to my surprise, meet a lot of people who like soda. Do you like soda?
No.
But a lot of people do, right?
Yeah.
So they like soda, which makes them fat. And also they like, I don't know, pizza, and they like this and this and that. So
I certainly don't know what that's like.
Right, of course, neither do I. So maybe the first step for somebody like that to make would be to first cut down on the number of soda cans or bottles that they consume a day, and then gradually get rid of that and don't touch anything else.
Right,
or
rather than like cold
do it
turkey.
all. Right, cold turkey, torturing yourself, and then you can sustain it. Or, for example, let's say that somebody drinks too much and smokes cigarettes. I mean, as a doctor, I'm supposed to tell you, and I'm telling you, none of these ideas is very good. But also, realistically, I have to tell you that if a person went to, let's say, a 28 days rehab inpatient, what would happen is this. They would detox them from alcohol, and they would give them a nicotine patch or a gum. Right?
Right, like ease them off of it.
Right. But in real life, if you start chewing the gum, it's going to be a crazy, never-ending process. And I'm talking about you trying to stop smoking and drinking all at the same time. Pick up the thing that is worse, right? That affects your social life and health. So for somebody is going to be smoking because you are coughing all the time, go and see a doctor, of course, I have to say it. And for somebody it could be drinking because you get drunk to blackouts every single day. I met people like that.
Yes.
I met people like that. So a smaller goal. If you want to save some money, maybe also you, instead of saying to yourself that you are going to put away half of your salary,
yeah, like that's realistic.
want to come up with a realistic number and see how it works for you.
Yeah.
Another thing that is a very good idea is to use what we know in neurophysiology and psychology, a mechanism of pairing.
Oh.
So when you try to connect one event to another event. So unfortunately, in real life, especially in childhood, pairing happens not only with good, but also sometimes good with bad. Like, for example, I can give you an example. Somebody gave a child a toy that they liked very much, and at that time, the child is seeing that parents are arguing and yelling at each other. This toy is not going to bring the pleasure.
Right.
So, for example, if you have an existing habit of buying a lot of stuff at Starbucks, and it's very difficult for you financially.
Those drinks are expensive.
Right. What I, for example, do when I go to Starbucks, and I don't say that I'm an example, I actually buy their house coffee. It is cheaper. Mm-hmm. It is coffee.
It's coffee.
Right. Or if you can't afford even that, then do not take away the coffee part, right? Start making coffee yourself. It's not that difficult.
Yeah.
So it's a positive thing because you are saving, but you are not killing off the coffee thing.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
that makes sense.
Also, if you are trying to budget, for example, and you know that you spend too much money buying food, like eating out. Lunch, you buy it out. So in New York, it's probably $10-15 nowadays.
Yeah.
Right? And then you go to dinner all the time, and your breakfast is also on the go. Instead of killing the breakfast, like I'm not going to eat breakfast anymore, or I'm not doing lunch anymore,
Right.
make something at home, bring it.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Pairing is different. Pairing is when you want to stop drinking, right? Mm-hmm. So you need to figure out a way of what positive is going to happen in your life instead of drinking.
Right. Yeah. It's not like you're just taking something away.
Right. You are adding something positive. So you pair the stopping of the drinking with a positive experience.
Right.
And everybody has to come up with their own thing.
Yeah. I
but-
know a lot of people who decide to get sober.
Right.
They have started becoming vegan. That seems like the same thing to me because it's like eating pure and like very excited about like this new lifestyle.
Well, if it makes you happy, that's a good idea. So you stop drinking and you become a vegan and you feel so good about yourself because finally you are not killing animals. You are doing something very positive.
feel good about yourself.
You can feel good about yourself.
And it's healthier probably.
Right. And again, it has to be something manageable. Mm-hmm. You cannot just do things cold turkey. Not a good idea.
Where did that phrase come from? Why do we always talk about it like cold turkey? What's wrong with cold turkey?
You tell me.
I'm going to look this up.
Yeah. Okay.
Cold turkey.
Maybe because it doesn't taste good.
Urban Dictionary.
Uh-huh.
No, that's not going to be helpful. Okay. According to Wikipedia, cold turkey refers to the abrupt cessation of a substance dependence and the resulting unpleasant experience, as opposed to gradually easing the process through reduction over time or by using replacement. The term comes from the piloerection or goosebumps
Right.
that occur with the abrupt withdrawal from opioids, which resembles the skin of a plucked refrigerated turkey.
Okay, so let's say that goosebumps, because of goosebumps of the turkey.
I did not know that.
Neither did I. Okay.
So now we know.
No, and everybody learned that pill erection is not what you thought right away,
No.
people. It's the goosebumps, okay?
Goosebumps.
Okay.
Goosebumps.
Yes,
Know that
sounds
show?
like an... I've never seen it, but I know it does exist.
Oh, it's so
Well,
good.
it's good? Okay.
Yeah.
One of the things that I mentioned a couple of times before is to try to do the following. Take the time every day. It doesn't matter what time of the day. Whenever you can schedule it, and don't promise yourself you're going to do it every day, but try your best. When you sit down for about 10 minutes, you don't need more, and imagine in color the best you possibly can. And again, don't try too hard. It will come to you. How different you become after you do action A. Like, for example, how different your life is going to be and how much better you are going to look if you believe it.
I feel
After
like
you-
it's like just even resolving to do that, to sit
Right.
down for 10 minutes a day, like that's already setting myself up for failure.
So sit down, for 5. But
Okay.
it's a very good idea. So you imagine how great you are going to look. And also imagine in great detail how easy it is for you not to eat all the garbage that you ate before. If you decided to stop smoking, how much better your life is going to be. And you have to come up with a picturesque way to imagine it.
Well, they
The
have
same-
those apps
Right.
that will, for if you like quit drinking or quit smoking
Yeah.
or something, it will, you put in like when you stopped.
Right.
And then it will tell you how much money you saved.
Right. So if money is an issue for you, so
So it's
that's
like
the-
something to make you feel good about, like, oh, and like how many cigarettes you like didn't smoke or something. Okay, so that's like kind of visualizing it
Yes.
for yourself.
Yes.
One thing that I've done is to like, and you said that this is not a great thing, but we've already established that I do not set a good example. So,
But of course you do. Your name is Master McMaster.
yes, I'm the master of fools. So I would like tell someone like, this is my goal. Hold me accountable. It's not great.
I don't think it's a good idea. What has been your experience like?
Not
Do
great.
do people hold you accountable?
Not really.
Uh-huh. So you have nice friends.
Although I feel like it would be helpful if you like started a resolution with someone. Like you're both gonna do it together. Cause then you're like, you can like motivate each other. So it's not just like one person guilting the other one.
I don't have a particular opinion about it. What I noticed is a couple of things. A, to start from the last thing that you said. What happens very frequently that one of the two is more consistent and starts shaming the other one, and the other one feels guilty and probably forces themselves to do it, but it doesn't work out that great. But if you are in great relationship and you are on the same page all the time, then maybe it's a good idea. About telling other people, the worst example I have is my own mother, who passed away at age 92, but before she did, for many, many years, when I was already very mature adult, a grown-up doctor and stuff like that, I would come to her and I visited her very, very frequently, and she would tell me, Ed, you are too fat.
Oh.
And then on that same day would offer me a lunch or dinner, which were my mother's lunches and dinners, which were large, with a lot of carbs, and would get upset if I didn't try the cake that she made. So it made absolutely no sense. So people do stuff like that to you. And also, not that they want to provoke you, like my mother certainly didn't have this objective, but you know, she's a mother. So she cooked for me, right? But I'm fat. So she has to tell me that. Neither of these things were good, because if your mother tells you that you are fat, it doesn't strike you as a very great statement.
No, that's
right?
terrible.
No, it wasn't terrible
So
because
sad.
she loved me. I'm the only son. It was fine. But, you know. Yeah, so it looks like we are coming to the point when we need to start making some final conclusions.
Yes.
And
So what would you suggest if people want to make resolutions?
before I do my professional expert part, what
Okay.
do you, as a normal human, as we discovered, earthling, would suggest from your own experience of successes and failures?
Well, as someone who's failed a lot, yeah, I guess, I mean, we already kind of touched on it, but I would say just like breaking, like not doing something totally dramatic right off the bat. Like probably my biggest failures have been like, like if I say like, I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week, every single week.
Right.
And then the first week that I don't do that, then I feel really bad and I'm just like, fuck it. But yeah, if it's like something more reasonable, like at least once a week or something.
Yes.
Something more reasonable for me.
Well, actually, I have to tell you also another spoiler alert, that people who want to lose weight should not over-exercise, because it's going to make them hungrier. Unless they are on a particular type of diet that is set for people who work out a lot. We are going to discuss it too. As a psychiatrist, I would like to tell you, Master McMaster, and everybody else, that failure, which is a very strong word, is a part of the process. You try, right? You fail. You try again. You fail. Then you try more and more. You can even look into lives of very famous, super successful people.
Yeah.
Like how many super famous actors would tell you that they spend years not having a job,
Yeah.
but they kept trying. I don't know. Nobody comes to my mind other than Johnny Depp, who actually was very successful all the time from the moment he set his foot in LA, was getting work. But a lot of people are not like that.
No.
And I recently saw an interview on YouTube with a guy who now is very famous in Russia because he's a part of a very, very funny, very good show. And his story is very disturbing. I mean,
Really?
he stayed without work for many, many years, but kept trying.
Oh, man. I'm
And-
not good at that part, the keep trying part.
Well, there is, maybe I should share a part of wisdom that I learned in my yoga studies.
Please
there is
do.
a famous fable, which I heard in many different variations in many different schools, that goes something like that. Two frogs wound up in a big jar with some milk in it, and they couldn't jump out. So they jumped and jumped and jumped, and then one frog said, "Forget it. It's useless. I'm going to die in a cool way." So it relaxed and kind of drifted away, drowning in milk.
Oh, Jesus.
And another one said, "No, I'm not going to give up." And it kept jumping and jumping and jumping. And unbeknown to the frog, the milk has special qualities. So it became sour cream. And then it became butter. And the frog had more ground, which was higher, to jump out of the jar.
Okay.
So the lesson, the takeaway lesson from the story is never give up. And I would like to tell you, brains of the internet and other brains, the two advices that I would leave you with is set realistic goals and never give up.
Aww.
Goodbye.
We are
Right.
done. Everyone is fixed.
Right.
It's perfect.
So please keep your brains open even wider, because it's possible. It's very possible that in the next episode, we are going to share with you our infinite wisdom about different diets.
Oh. Wait, what are your New Year's resolutions? Are you going to make any?
Well, I just told you that the realistic one is to change the way our studio is set up.
Okay. Yeah, that's it?
The other one is to start producing our videos on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
What is your New Year's resolution, Master McMaster? Don't talk about pizza, please.
So I guess the New Year's resolution that I had, I'm now seeing in light of this conversation, is not a good one, not realistic. Just like be healthier. It's like,
Realistic.
well, yeah, it's realistic, but it's very like vague.
Do you want to make a resolution that you'll stop drinking Soylent?
No, there's nothing wrong with Soylent. Leave me alone.
Okay.
No, so I guess now I would probably kind of break that down into something like, I don't even know. How should I break it down? I guess because I want to be healthier, not necessarily to like lose weight, but just to be healthier.
So say that you are going to exercise as regular as you possibly can.
Yeah.
You'll try your best to exercise as regularly as you possibly can. How about that?
Yeah. Exercise.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think maybe I'll try to start with like 2 times a week.
I would even say seriously, I'll try to exercise as
Much as
regularly
okay, yeah.
as regularly as I possibly can.
No, that's a good idea. And I want to try some like new shit.
Like what?
Well, so I always do hot yoga,
Right.
but I want to try like different kinds of working out. Like I want to try like kickboxing or something. Like I
Cool.
just want to go to a class and just try it.
Excellent.
And I think I'm going to actually use one of these techniques and rope one of my friends into it to motivate me.
And also you might want to try another type of yoga, like like vinyasa maybe,
Yeah,
ashtanga
which
yoga.
I do sometimes, but
Right.
yeah.
Whatever works for you. Maybe
Yeah.
Pilates is better for you, although it's expensive.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what else I want to do? I want to learn how to meditate. We did our episode about meditation, and I have to admit I did not try very hard to use the Schultz method, and because it's meditating for me is just so hard, I don't even want to like start it
Okay. It's not the Schultz method. It's not the Schultz method. It's what really works and what I learned in years and years of study.
Yeah,
I did
no,
not
it's
come up with it. Yeah.
I just had this idea that like, oh, I'm just never going to be able to do it, so I'm just not going to do it. But
Right.
I'm going to try
Okay.
my best.
So on this positive, non-committal note, we are saying goodbye to you,
Yes.
all the brains.
Yes. Make your resolutions in a mindful way, and
Please.
be your best self. Live your #best life, and share your resolutions with us.
And hashtag everything is possible. Hashtag never give up.
Hashtag.
Bye.
Okay. Goodbye. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of BrainStorm 9000. If you like us, love us, or marginally tolerate us, hey, go ahead and subscribe, rate, and give us a review on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever the hell you listen to your podcasts.